Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with the same module, that is quality systems of the IT, and we have studied about the chapter number 1 in the last class, that is the introduction of the various model or introduction of the IS 9000. So let's begin with that. Let's begin with that introduction, that is chapter number 1, then move to chapter number 2, that is the basic concept of the quality system, that is what are the various basic concepts that is used in the quality system. So first of all, let's start with the chapter number 1 that we have discussed in the last class, that is a perception. That is a perception means whatever the perception we are using in the ISO 9000 that is available in the perception, that is the ISO 9000, that is International Standard Organization 9000 family of the standard. Then we are using the perception, that is what is the perception that is regarding the ISO 9000 standard. So there is ISO 9000 standard that is using the perceptions that contains the family of standard in 1987 that is also grown in the industry in the shadow, and industry is characterized by the standard bodies, accreditation bodies, certification bodies, consulting practices, and so on. Then how we think about the ISO 9000, that means what we think about the ISO 9000 standard. So it is a standard that have a positive as well as a negative comment that have nothing to do with the standards, but the way it has been interpreted by the organization, that is the way we are interpreted with the organization, that is consistent with the consultant, auditors, organizations, that is the ISO 9000. And to the critics, ISO 9000 is what we achieved or what we perceived, that means what we perceive, what we achieved, that is done by the ISO 9000. This makes any discussion on the subject difficult and leads to the disagreement, that is the ISO 9000 standards. And it is also perceived as a label given to the family of the standards and the associated certification scheme. So whatever the scheme, whatever the data that is given by the certification data, that is given by the certification value, that is the ISO 9000 family. And as many organizations did not perceive they had a quality management system before they embarking on the quest for ISO 9000 certification, that is used with the system and the people that were labeled ISO 9000 as a kind of the shorthand. And before the long, these labels become family attached and difficult to shed, and consequently why people refers to ISO 9000 as a system. So why people refer ISO 9000 as a system, that is ISO 9000 system that is used for the quality management. Now, how we think about the quality management system, that is the how we think about the quality management system. So that is used by the organization that have a way of doing the things, and it rests in the minds of the leaders. For others, it is translated into the paper, and for most, it is a mixture of the two. That means it is a mixture of the two, that is ISO 9000 standard that is used as a way of doing the things that is work for them, and that is used to forget the ISO 9000 value. And we had built the pyramids, created the mass production of the consumer goods, broken the sound carrier or barrier, put a man on the moon. These are the various, we can say, the think about the quality management system, why quality is very important to for any organization, for any tool, for every data that is achievable in this one. And ISO 9000 did require organization to establish a quality system as a means of ensuring product met specified requirements. So if the product meets the specified requirement, that means that if the company is the ISO certified company, that means the international standard organization that we have discussed. And various activities are also a part of the ISO 9000 standard. And these are the few activities, that is SMS, EMS, then QMS. That means a formalized informalized manner, that is informal management system that is used with the ISO 1441, that is come along with the resultant in the formalization of the another part of their management system to create an environmental management system, that is EMS, then there is a SMS, then there is a QMS. That led to the quality assurance standard because the customer used it for obtaining assurance of the quality of the product that we supply. These pieces need to be placed to provide the assurance. That means this to be placed to run the business effectively and efficiently. That means to run the business, whether we are running the business efficiently or effectively. And the quality system was defined as organization structure, procedures, processes, and resources that is needed to implement the quality management. So this is the quality system. That means every organization, or this includes defined as organization structure. That means the structure of the organization, procedures, processes, and resources that is needed to implement the quality management. So that is What are the various procedures, what are the various values, resources, processes that are required to implement the quality management, that is also a part of the quality system. Now, how we think about the certifications, or how we think about the certification, how the certification value can be considered as a certification value. So when an organization chooses not to pursue ISO 9000 certification or not to retain the ISO 9000 certificate, it makes no difference to the way the organization is managed. There is no difference between the ISO 9000 and how it is managed. And there are two parts of these regulations, that is known as the command and the control, that is required as a progress, that is used with the disadvantages of the strategy, that is used what we require to do. And certification is not a requirement of the ISO 9000, nor it is encouraged by the standard. It is, however, encouraged by the government, and this is where the misunderstanding arises. That is, whether the ISO 9000 is required by the private organization or it is required by the government organization. This is very confusing scenario that is used with the ISO 9000 alongside the product standard in their purchasing strategy, so as to rate the standard of the quantity or quality in the national and the international trade. And certification becomes a requirement of the customer. They mandated it through the contracts. And ISO 9000 is in fact suggested that there were two approaches to using the ISO 9000. What are the two approaches? That is the management motivated, and then next is the stakeholder motivated. So there are two parts of the ISO 9000 standard. One is the management motivated, then next is the stakeholder motivated. And it is suggested that the suppliers should consult the ISO 9001 to understand the basic concepts of the organization. That is, what are the various basic concepts that is used with this one. And ISO 9000 was only about documenting what you do. That means preparing the documentation that what you are doing and what the organization will use. That is to set to work on responding to the requirements of the standard as a list of the values of the activity. So whatever the list of the activities, whatever the list of the value that is carried out, that is carried out with the list of the activities that is to be carried out again. And this is the scope of the business, scope of the quality system, scope of the ISO 9001, scope of the registration. So these are the four parts of the scoping. That is what is the scope, that is how it is used in the quality management system. And is our goal to survive the audit or to improve the performance? And how the ISO made us think about the quality, that whenever we get the ISO or whenever we are or whenever a company is ISO certified, then how the company will think about the quality, that is what is the quality. So ISO 9000 was conceived to bring about an improvement in the product quality. That means what is the product quality, and how the product quality will be achieved with this one, and how we are making the product quality achievable with the help of the documented procedures, with the help of documented procedure that is available in this one. And that is used with the that is used with the consumer satisfaction, that is consumed with the consistency of the output perceived. So whatever the output, whatever the scenario that is getting out, that is carrying out with the that is carried out with the various activity, that is the best way, that is or whatever the best way that is shown, that is available with the various activities, that is available with the various variation, that is documented and train others to apply it. And it also follows that the result produced should be consistently good. And the requirements of the standards were perceived to be a best list of things to do to achieve the quality. Whatever the quality that is managed with the various standards, that is managed with the list of the things to do to achieve the quality. And there is an ISO coordinator would often draw up a plan based on the following logic. That is, whatever the coordinator that is provided by the ISO, that is draw up a plan that is based on the following logic. Now, what are the various logic? We have to identify the resource requirement. So I will write a procedure on identifying the resource requirement. That is, what are the various resource requirement, how it is carried out, how we are gathering the requirement of the resource requirement. We have to produce the quality plan. So I will try a procedure on producing the quality plan. We have to record the contract review. So I will write a procedure on recording that contract review. We have to identify the design changes. So I will write a procedure on identifying the design changes. So these are the various requirements that is carried out. So we have to identify the resource requirements. We have to identify or produce the quality plans, record the contract review, identify the design changes. And this also ensures the product met the specified requirement, that is the clear purpose of the products. And how we think about the reviews, inspection, and the audit. That is, what is the audit, or what is the review, what is the perception that is carried out within the ISO 9001 standards. So review means, or audit means, that means to determine the effectiveness. So if I'm talking about that, my company has an audit, that means to check out whether effective we are going to deliver the course. That is the audit. Review means reviewing the content. Then inspection means the same. That means the same and the same thing. That means audit, review, inspection. To carry out the effectiveness of the company, business, course, anything. That is, if I'm auditing my work, that means auditing the work that is related to the inspection, audit, reviews. Now, is ISO 9000 2000 any different? This is the target we are studying about in the last class in the first chapter. Now, next chapter is chapter number 2, that is a basic concept. That is, what are the various basic concepts that we are going to discuss in the chapter number 2, that is the basic concept. So first part is the principle of the, or the prescription. That is, what are the various principles, or we can say what are the various rules and regulations that is available for the principles, and what are the various prescriptions. That means if I am prescribing you that you check the data, you will deal with the data. That means the prescription that is available with the principle that is used with the prescription, that is a part of the principle and the prescription. So one of the greater problem in our age to impart the understanding in the minds of the those who have ability and opportunity. So whatever the opportunity, whatever the data that is available, that is used with the content, that is used with the data that is available for the online material, that is used for the checkout data. These are the perception of the prescription or the principle. So what are the various principles and what are the various prescriptions that is available in the basic concepts of the ISO 9001 standard? So one of the greater problem in our age to impart the understanding in the minds of those who have ability and opportunity to make the decisions that affects our life. That means whatever the persons who have the opportunity to take the decisions or make the decision that affects our life, because they take the decision as their own. There is no here and there searching. No, or they can search the information, they can take the decision as their own. And there is no shortage of the information. In fact, there is too much now. We can search a world of information from the comfort of our armchair. That means we can search anything over the internet that is used with the comfort of our armchair. We are bombarded with the information, but it is not the knowledge. That is not the knowledge, but it is the information only. And with so many conflicting messages, it is very difficult to determine, or it is difficult to determine the right thing to do. And there are those who only set a principle that is used with this one. And the principle in the field of quality management has not arisen out of the academia, but from the life in the workplace. So whatever the place, whatever the right place, whatever the content that is available, that is used with the content that is used in the life of the workplace. And the observation from the workplace have been taken into exercise and refined to emerge as a universal principle. That is emerge as a universal principle, that is taken out as a universal principle. And these principles have been expressed in many ways, and in their constant refreshment, the language is modernized and simplified, but the essence hardly changed. That means the essence hardly changed, that means they have not been changed into the modernized character and the simplified character. And without a set of the principles, achieving a common understanding in the field of quality management would be impossible. That is impossible with the various quality without setting a principle. That means without gaining a knowledge, without setting a set of the principle, achieving a would be impossible. Because if there is no rules regulation, if there is no policies that is available, so how we can achieve the target, how we can achieve in the field of the quality management, that is very impossible in this one. And since Juren, Dimming and Pingming wrote about the quality management in the 1950s, that have been considered the energy put into the codifying the field of the quality management. That is how we are going to tackle into the quality management, and what are the various principles by which we can derive the useful rules, regulation, and the requirements that have been emerged. And there is nothing wrong with wanting a prescription. It saves the time, it is repeatable, it's economic, and it is fastest ways to get the things done, but it has to be right. That is, it has to be right, it is economical, it is the fastest way to get the things done, but it has to be right. The receivers of the prescriptions need enough understanding to know whether they are being asked to do is appropriate to the circumstances they are facing. So whatever the circumstances, whatever the tools, whatever the rules they are facing, they're getting the importance to the appropriate to the circumstances they are facing. And the concept expressed in this chapter embody universal principles and have selected and structured in a manner that have been selected in a manner that have been structured in a manner that is considered suitable for the users of the ISO 9000 family of the standard. So whatever the family of the standard that is the ISO 9000 standard that is available, that is also a part of the ISO 9000 that contains the family of the standards. Now, the next concept is used as a quality. Now, what is a quality? We have all needs, wants, requirement, and the expectations. Needs are essential for the life, because if I'm talking about my personal needs, that means the food, shelter, and the clothes. There is no food, there is no shelter, there is no clothes. That how can I survive my life? So these three things are very, we can say, the needy for a life, that is food, shelter, and clothes. And next is to certain or to maintain certain standards or essential for products and services to fulfill the purpose for which they have been acquired, that is a quality. And according to Maslow, man is a wanting being, and there is always some needs that he wants to satisfy. So man is a wanting being. So anytime man's needs cannot finish. If he is earning 5,000, he can search for the 10,000. 10,000, 20,000. 20,000, 30,000. That means his or her oblique needs cannot be satisfied at any point of time. And when this is accomplished, that particular need no longer motivates him, and he turns to another, again seeking the satisfaction. And everyone has physical, psychological needs that are necessary to sustain the life. That means food, water, shelter, and clothing. That is what I said: food, shelter, clothes, and this is water is also essential for this one. That is the basic need to sustain the life. That is to start up the life, to make the life. That means the food, shelter, clothes. And after safety, some social needs followed by the need for the esteem, and finally the need for self-actualization are become potential. And satisfaction of the psychological needs is usually associated with the money, not money itself, but what can it or what it can buy. So whatever we can buy, whatever we are thinking, that is a part of the satisfaction of the psychological needs. And these needs are fulfilled by the individual purchasing, renting, or leasing product or services. So whenever we are getting about the individual purchasing, renting, or the leasing product and services, that needs are fulfilled by the individual purchasing. Now these are the hierarchy of the need. First is self-actualization needs, then there is the esteem needs, then social needs, satisfy or safety needs, and psychological needs. So these are the various needs that is also part of the pyramid, or that is also in a hierarchy. So first one is the self-actualization need, then there is the esteem need, then there is the social needs, safety needs, and the psychological needs. So these are the needs, or these are the hierarchy of the need. That means the category of the needs or the sub parts of the needs that the human being have in around, that is a need. So one is the self-actualization needs, esteem needs, social needs, safety needs, and the psychological needs. And corporate safety is one of the major terms that is requirement in this one. And requirements are what we request of others and may encompass our needs, but often we don't fully realize what we need until after we have made a request. So for example, now, note that, or now, we on a mobile phone, we discover we really need hand-free operation using the phone while driving a vehicle. That means we can use the need, or we can able to fulfill the need by using the mobile phone. That means there are two operations, that means multitasking is operated at the same time. And expectations are implied needs or requirements. So whenever we are talking about the expectation, that are the implied needs or the requirement. They have not been requested because we take them for granted. We regard them to be understood within our particular society or as accepted norm. That is also used as accepted norm. That is, expectations are the implied needs or the requirements. And they may be things to which we are accustomed based on the fashion, style, trends, or the previous experience. One therefore expects their sales staff to be polite and courteous, electronic product to be safe and reliable, policeman to be honest, coffee to be hot, etc. Now, what is a quality? That is a degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfill a need or expectation that is stated, general, implied, or obligatory. That means the degree to which a set of the inherent characteristics, that means a set of the various features, fulfills a need or expectations that is stated, general, implied, or obligatory. So whatever the degree, whatever the fulfillment that is carried out, with the quality needs, that is carried out with the quality products. So quality can be defined as a degree to which a set of the inherent characteristics fulfill a need or expectation that is stated, general, implied, or the obligatory. Whatever the quality, whatever the term that we use in the quality, that is a part of the inherent characteristics that fulfill a need or the expectation that is stated, general, implied, or the obligatory. So that is given as a, or that is known as a quality. So in supplying the product or services, there are three fundamental parameters that determine their sellability. What are the three parameters? There is the price, quality, and the delivery. These are the three parts of the parameter, or there are three functional parameters that determine their sellability, that is the price, quality, and the delivery. And customers require product and services of a given quality to be delivered by or available by a given time, and to be of the price that reflects the value for the money. So whatever the value, whatever the prices that reflects the money that is delivered, or that is delivered for the requirement of the money. And these are the requirement of the customers that is available with the requirement of the dealers. An organization will serve only if it creates and retains the satisfied customer, and this will can only be achieved if it offers for the same product or the services. That means it offers the sales product or the services that is applied to the customer need and the expectations as well as the requirement. That is the expectations will be carried out in physical approach. Expectations will be carried out in a sales approach, sales product or the services that respond to the customer needs and the expectations as well as the requirement. While price is a function of cost, profit margin, and the market forces, and delivery is a function of the organization efficiency and the effectiveness. That means whenever we are calling about the delivery, that is a function of the organization efficiency and the effectiveness, in which the quality is determined by the extent to which the product or the service successfully serves the purpose of the user. So whatever the quality, whatever the services that is available that serves the purpose of the user during the usage, that is also a part of the point of the sale. And the price and delivery are both transient feature that is used for the impact of the quality that is sustained after the attraction or the pain or the price and the delivery has subsided. That means it is available for the growth of the quality. Then the word quality has many meanings. What are the various meanings of the quality? That means first of all, that may be a degree of the excellence. That next is conformance with the requirement. That is quality means a degree of the excellence. Whenever we are excellent in the content, that means a degree. Then there is a conformance with the requirement. That is my requirements are met in a perfect manner. That is a quality. Then the totality of the characteristics of an entity that bears on its ability to satisfy the needs. That means they satisfy the needs. That is also a part of the entity. Then fitness for use, then fitness for purpose. That means the fitness for use, that is also part of the quality. Fitness for purpose, that is also part of the quality. Then freedom for the defects, imperfection, or the contamination. That means a quality means a freedom from any defect. So if there is any defect, that means the quality is compromised. If there is no defects, that means freedom for the defect from the defect, that is also a part of the quality. Then delighting the customer, that means delight the customer, that means the customer is satisfied with the quality. That means the quality. So these are the different meanings of the quality. That is the degree of excellence, conformance with requirements, totality of the characteristics of an entity, then fitness for use, fitness for purpose, then freedom from the defects or imperfection, then delighting the customer. So these are the few points that is used with the quality, that is used with the ability to satisfy the shared or stated or the implied needs. That is also quality. And these are just a few meanings. However, the meaning used in the context of ISO was concerned with the totality of the characteristics. That may be a different characteristics that satisfy the needs, but in the 2000 version that have been changed. Quality in the ISO 9000-2000 version is defined as a degree to which inherent characteristics fulfill the requirement. Whatever the characteristics that fulfill the requirement, that is also a part of the quality. So that is a degree to which a set of different features inherit, or there is a different feature that fulfill the requirement. That is, what is the requirement of the features? What is the requirement that is available in the quality that fulfills the requirement, that character size that fulfill the requirement. And the formal definition, that is the first definition, focus on an entity that was described as a product or the services. With the new definition, this is a new definition, that is a degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfill the requirement. And in describing an output, we express in terms of characteristics, and to comment on the quality of anything, we need a measure of its characteristics and a basis for comparison. And by combining the definition of the terms quality and requirement in this one, quality can be expressed. Now, if I combine the above definition, and this is the ISO 9000 2000 definition, now we explain the quality as a degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfill a need or expectation that is stated, generally implied or obligatory. That is a quality. That means various features are or various inherent characteristics are available that satisfy or fulfill a need or the expectation that is implied or obligatory, that is used with the fitness for use. Then interested parties. Who are the interested parties? That have an interest, or parties of the group that have an interest in the performance or success of the organization. For example, if I'm interested in the success of my organization, that is an interested party. The person or the group having an interest in the performance or success of our organization, that includes, so who are the interested parties? That include the customers, owners, employees, contractors, suppliers, investors, unions, partners, or the society. So these are the various relevant interested parties that is also a part of the organization. So person or a group having an interest in the performance or the success of the organization, that includes the customer, that includes the owner, that includes the contractor, that includes the supplier, that includes the investor, anything that is available that are known as the interested parties. So interested parties, that means a party that is defined as a person or a group having an interest in the performance or the success of the organization. That is known as the interested parties. For example, if I am interested in my company, then my company grows very well, that is known as, I'm known as the, or I known as the, or I'm a dealer as the interested party. So ISO 9000 define an interested party as a person or the group having an interest in the performance or success of an organization. However, the organization may not have interest in all of them. And such parties are the customer, owners, employees, contractors, suppliers, investor, partner, society. Now, next is who are the customers? That means we are dealing in detail, that is who are the interested parties in detail. This I'm going to take within the next class, that is in the tomorrow's class. All right. So thanks a lot, everyone. That's all for today's session. If there is any doubts, any suggestions, you can ask the doubts from me. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye-bye. We will meet tomorrow with the concept that is who are the interested parties, for example, the customers.